Welcome back, everyone. In today's session, I'm going to discuss a bit about the P2p port configuration and its importance in version 0.9 of the polkadot binary. In this version, we will be getting support for collators connecting to our validator nodes and parachains and all those sort of nice stuff. One point of emphasis is that our P2p port must be accessible. And you may have a node that's running and that P2p port may not be accessible, and you can still, sync, and, you may not even know. So it is something worthwhile checking out. If you are using the Ansible install, you will be using a load balancing system. And I want to explain that a bit. So if we go to sudo, we're going to open our service file, sudo nano, and we are going to do /etc/system/system/polkadot.service. Okay, and we're going to focus on these two lines, public and listen. Public address, listen. And basically, public address is what you're going to announce to your other validators or collators or whoever the case may be. This is the IP you're going to get me on, this public IP. And this is the port that you're going to try to access. Okay? Now, we would notice that our listen address, it's on localhost, so it's only listening to things within the machine, and it's on the P2p, well, what we are familiar with as the P2p port, which is 30,333. So how do we get from here, public IP port 88, to here, localhost 30333? So this is where nginx comes in, and I would like to show you the config file. So we exit, we do cd/etc/nginx/streams enabled. We do ls and we do sudo nano, and we open this file. Okay, so when we go to this file, we see that we have a listen on all interfaces, which will include the public port 80, and that passes to the local host, which is 127.0.0.1 on port 30333. Okay, so if it is that you modified your ports in the service file, it also needs to be reflected here if you're using the reverse proxy. If you have put your external port, your public and your private are the same, your public address and your listen address is the same, same IP, same port, and you have the firewall opened on that port, you should be okay. All right, that's I'm using this terminology I just discovered. It's called a naked port. All right, so this technique, it's going to be using a load balancer from nginx, and it's going to go from public IP port 80 to internal IP 30333. So again, you modify in your system, in your service file, and you also modify here. But as we all know, if it is that you run setup.sh, it's going to overwrite everything. So I'm going to show you how to make that adjustment in your config file, in your inventory.yml, my apologies. So we do, let's get here, and I'm going to do polkadot/ansible. Okay, so if we look all the way down to the bottom, we can specify alternative ports using P2p port and proxy port. So I'm going to change them to these values. And I'm going to run setup.sh, and let's make sure everything is set up properly. Okay, we get that error because I didn't use underscore, I used hyphen. Okay, so we give this a check. So there are many different techniques that we can use, but we need to make sure that everything is in sync. So not only on your service file, but you need to also look at that that nginx config file. If you change your ports to anything non-standard, make sure you adjust it in your inventory.yml and you run setup again. Okay, it's all done. So let us verify that our service file, so we can do sudo nano /etc /systemd /system /polkadot.service. Right, we see it's port 83334. We exit, and we do sudo nano /etc/nginx /streams enable /polkadot.config, and we see 83334. So let us consider again, if it is that we have two instances and we run setup.sh, it's going to only write one relationship in the config file. Okay, so to avoid that, let me show you how we can add an additional entry. We go to cd, I'll have to do list cd roles polkadot.validator I think it's templates ls, and now we do sudo nano proxy, right? And in this file we would see this is where it specifies the listen. It says use the proxy port, listen use the P2p port. So if I do another server, and out of abundance of caution, I'm going to take a space. I'll do listen 0.0.0.0, and I'm going to do port 888 end, and I'm going to say the other server does a proxy pass to localhost as well, and the port is 33333. Yeah. Exit, yes, I write, I come out, I run .setup.sh. Oops, I need to come back up another one, there we go. Okay, so this technique that I did, it will come in handy if you have another server running on the same machine with its own service file and the like. So it's always good to make sure that you edit or you update the templates under Ansible, so that when you run setup.sh, it doesn't, mess up your system. All your configs should come back as pristine as they were before. Okay, things look fairly okay. And the major one that we want to take a look at would be, let me see, I think I should type it over. Sudo nano /etc /nginx /service stream enabled. It's polkadot. There we go. And there we have it. So when we run setup.sh, it's not going to override, and this could be for our second instance. So that's about it. I do plan to do some sessions on the Ansible playbooks and to give a fair idea of what's going on under the hood. I do this not only for anyone viewing, but also for myself. I sometimes take it for granted that Ansible does, this installer does what it's supposed to. But sometimes when we are challenged to do something out of the norm, we need to have a good understanding of what is done in the first place. So I ask you to look out for that series, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye.